Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to the women for a moment. Now, fellas, don't get too offended. This ain't about throwing shade. This is about wisdom. This is about power, and this is about self-respect. When you walk into a relationship, you are bringing more than your beauty, your smile, and your charm. You are also bringing your history, your wounds, your doubts, and the silent insecurities that whisper in your ear when no one else is around. Every woman has them. That little voice that says, you're not enough, not pretty enough, not successful enough, not lovable enough. It's part of being human. But listen closely. Just because you have insecurities doesn't mean you need to announce them to every man you meet. Some things are meant to be healed in silence, not handed out for someone else to validate or fix. See, the moment you lay your insecurities out on the table for a man, you are giving him a kind of power. Not the kind that lifts you up, but the kind that can control you. Now, I'm not saying you got to pretend to be perfect, no. But there is a difference between vulnerability and emotional dumping. Telling a man, sometimes I get anxious about being left, or I have a fear of rejection, or I don't feel pretty without makeup. That's not bonding. That's exposing a wound that he didn't ask to treat. You don't go to a first date with your emotional x-rays. That ain't how love is built. You have to understand something. Men by nature are fixers or exploiters. Now, don't get offended. That's just how it is. The good ones want to fix what's broken, but even that ain't always what you need, because a man can't fix what you haven't faced. And the wrong ones, they'll take your insecurity, memorize it, and use it against you when it suits them. The moment you show them where the cracks are, they know exactly where to press when they want to make you fold. You told him you felt insecure about your weight. Now he jokes about how you ate that second slice of cake. You told him you were abandoned in the past. Now he disappears for hours just to test you. That ain't love, baby. That's manipulation. And you invited it by giving him a roadmap to your soft spots. A secure woman does the work. She looks at her pain, she holds it in her hands, and she deals with it like the warrior she is. She journals, she prays, she talks to a therapist or a trusted sister friend, but she does not turn to a man and say, here, fix me. That is not his job. That's your job. Because when you don't heal, you bleed on people who didn't cut you. And then you wonder why every relationship starts with fireworks and ends in fire. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about honoring your own growth enough to say, this is my battle, not yours. A healed woman is magnetic. She's not perfect, but she's aware. She walks into a room with her head held high, not because she's never been broken, but because she chose to build herself back. That kind of woman doesn't hand out her insecurities like flyers. She guards her heart and her mind. She observes before she speaks. She gives a man just enough to connect, but not enough to be controlled. She knows that trust is earned slowly, not gifted quickly. Let me tell you something that took me years to understand. Your insecurities are not flaws. They are areas of potential strength. If you keep them private, reflect on them, and work through them, they can become the very things that build your confidence. But if you toss them at the feet of a man, hoping he'll pick them up and make you whole, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. No man can love you enough to fix what you haven't loved in yourself. So take your time. Love yourself enough to say, I will share my heart, but I won't surrender my stability. Love yourself enough to build confidence in silence. And when you do speak your truth, let it be from a place of power, not pain, because the most beautiful thing about a woman is not how much she reveals, but how deeply she's healed. Every woman has a past. Some parts are beautiful, filled with moments of growth, laughter, success, and love. Other parts, well, they're marked by pain, betrayal, mistakes, and regrets. That's life. No one gets through it without scars. But the past is not something you owe to a man like some kind of confession. It is your testimony, something sacred, something powerful, not his to demand, judge, or carry. Your past is a part of you, but it is not your introduction, and it is certainly not a requirement for you to be loved. Too many women in the early stages of getting to know a man feel the need to explain themselves, to justify their choices, to overshare the details of old relationships, childhood traumas, or personal failures. You think that honesty means full disclosure. You think that if you just lay it all out, he'll see the real you, appreciate the transparency, and love you more for your truth. But that's not how it works. What often happens is the more you give, the more someone can use it against you. Not always intentionally, but information changes perception. When you start telling a man every detail about who you used to be, what you did, what you tolerated, who hurt you, how far you fell, you're not sharing wisdom, you're surrendering your power. A man who is genuinely interested in you doesn't need a guided tour of your past. He wants to know the woman standing in front of him today. He's not asking for a full report. He's looking for your presence, your peace, your self-respect. If he's the right man, he'll respect that you've been through things without needing the whole script. He'll understand that your strength came from battles you chose to fight and overcome, and he'll admire that without asking for every detail of the war. Too many women are conditioned to think that their past defines their worth, that if they've made mistakes, they're damaged goods, that if they've loved and lost or been mistreated or went through seasons of survival, they have to explain it all just to earn love again. Let me tell you something. Your past may explain where you came from, but it does not determine where you're going. You don't need to relive your wounds to prove you're worthy of love. You don't need to apologize for the chapters that made you stronger. And some men will ask, some men will dig. They'll want to know how many people you've been with, how serious your ex was, what went wrong, what you did, what he did. You'll feel that pressure to answer, to be real, to not hide anything. But you have every right to set that boundary. Not everything is for sharing, especially not with someone who hasn't proven that they can hold your story with care. Your life isn't gossip. Your story isn't entertainment. If a man is genuinely interested in who you are, he'll focus on your present, not pry into your past. And if he can't handle your boundaries, then he sure won't be able to handle your future. There's also this internal struggle women face, thinking that withholding parts of your past means you're hiding something or being dishonesty. But let me be clear. Privacy is not dishonesty. There is a difference between secrecy and discretion. You're not being fake when you decide to keep some chapters to yourself. You're being wise. You've already lived it, learned from it, and healed from it, or maybe you're still healing. Either way, you have the right to protect your peace. You're not a museum exhibit for someone to walk through and critique. You are a whole woman made from fire and grace, and what you choose to share should be based on trust, not guilt or pressure. You don't owe any man an explanation for who you used to be. What you owe is honesty with yourself. Honesty that says, yes, I went through it, but I grew through it too. Your past is not a prison. It's proof that you've made it. It's your testimony. And when the time is right, if the man has shown himself worthy, you may choose to share pieces of that testimony, not because you have to, but because you want to, and even then it's on your terms. Because a queen doesn't beg for acceptance. She walks in her truth and lets the right man meet her where she is. There's something powerful about mystery. It's what keeps people curious, interested, and engaged. It's the reason stories pull us in, why songs make us want to listen again and again, and why we're drawn to those who don't reveal everything all at once. Now, women, you have to understand this. Mystery is not just for novels or movies. It's a vital part of your own life, especially when it comes to relationships. Every woman needs her own mystery, her own space that she guards carefully, because that is where her power lives. In today's world, with social media and constant sharing, it feels like everything about us is supposed to be an open book. We're encouraged to spill our guts, share our feelings, broadcast our every move, and lay out our whole life on the internet for anyone to see. But when it comes to real relationships, real love, too much exposure can kill the magic. If a man knows every little detail about you the moment he meets you, there's nothing left to discover, nothing left to wonder about, and nothing left to work for. Mystery creates space for attraction, desire, and respect. It's what makes a man want to keep coming back, to keep earning the chance to know you better. Think about it this way. When you first meet someone, you don't want to read the entire book in one sitting. You want the chapters to unfold slowly, with surprises, with depth, with moments that make you pause and appreciate the story. That's exactly what your life is like, and that's how you should treat it. Don't give him the whole story on day one. Don't tell him every secret, every fear, every struggle before he's earned the right to hear them. If you do, you're handing him the keys to your heart without testing if he's trustworthy enough to hold them. Mystery doesn't mean you're fake or dishonest. It means you're protecting yourself. It means you understand that love is not about rushing or forcing someone to know everything about you immediately. It's about letting them earn your trust, your confidence, your vulnerability over time. When you keep some things private, you maintain your dignity and your value. You remind him that you are a prize, not something that's just handed out for. And believe me, men respect a woman who knows her worth enough to hold some things back. A woman with mystery carries herself differently. She doesn't feel the need to explain every move or justify every choice. She has a calm confidence because she knows some things are just hers to keep. She doesn't overshare about her past relationships or personal struggles because she's aware that not everyone deserves to know. Instead, she invites curiosity. She lets a man lean in to discover more rather than pushing everything out all at once. Now, I want you to think about the relationships you've seen around you. How many times have you watched two people meet and it felt like everything was revealed too soon? How quickly did that relationship lose its spark? Too much exposure too soon can create boredom, disinterest, or even resentment. Because when there's no mystery, there's no chase. And when there's no chase, there's no excitement. Love needs excitement to thrive. Mystery fuels that excitement. Mystery also protects your heart. When you don't reveal everything, you avoid giving a man the power to hurt you with your own story. You decide what he gets to know and win. You hold the cards, and that balance is important. It's not about playing games, it's about self-respect. It's about knowing that your emotional life is precious and shouldn't be tossed around carelessly. Sometimes women think that by being mysterious, they're being cold or untrusting. But that's a misunderstanding. Being mysterious is an act of self-care. It's setting boundaries that say, I'm valuable, I'm not an open book. I choose what to share and when to share it. And guess what? The right man will understand and appreciate that. He won't pressure you or rush you. He'll be patient and willing to invest the time to truly know you. So keep your mystery alive. Keep parts of yourself wrapped in quiet confidence. Smile without explaining every feeling. Share without revealing every detail. Walk in your truth without giving away your whole story at once. Remember, your mystery isn't just about keeping secrets. It's about protecting your heart, your peace, and your power. And when you do that, you become unforgettable. The most magnetic women I've ever seen don't broadcast their entire lives. They reveal just enough to keep people wanting more. And that is the kind of woman every man wants to know, the kind of woman every man will respect, cherish, and fight for. Embrace your mystery. It's not a weakness, it's your strength. Every woman has emotional buttons, those sensitive spots deep inside where feelings run wild, fears hide, and memories linger. These buttons are parts of you that, when pressed the right way, can bring out your laughter, your tears, your joy, or your pain. But here's the truth many women don't realize. You don't owe anyone the blueprint to those buttons. You don't have to hand over the map that shows exactly how to push them. Because once someone knows how to trigger your emotions, they hold a kind of power over you that can be used to build you up or tear you down. And if you're not careful, that power can become your undoing. It starts when you meet someone and feel like you have to explain why you react the way you do. Maybe you say things like, I get upset when you don't call me back. Or I get insecure when you don't introduce me to your friends. On the surface, that sounds like honesty and openness. But what you're really doing is handing him the remote control to your emotional state. You're giving him the exact instructions on which buttons to press to make you feel good or bad. And here's the danger. Sometimes that man might push those buttons to connect with you, but other times, intentionally or not, he might push them to control or manipulate you. So, emotional intelligence is powerful, but only when it's in the right hands. If you give away your triggers too soon or too freely, you might find yourself reacting more than responding in your relationship. You might find yourself hurt more easily or feeling vulnerable at moments when you didn't expect it. And that's because you've given someone a manual on how to influence your emotions. A healthy relationship requires balance. It requires that you protect your heart by choosing carefully who you reveal your emotional triggers to and when. You don't have to reveal every crack or every tender spot in your emotional armor. You can keep some things to yourself while still being authentic. Being authentic doesn't mean you have to explain every reaction or justify every feeling. Sometimes it means you can say, I'm feeling this way, without explaining the entire history behind it. It means setting boundaries that say, I will share my emotions when I'm ready, not when you demand. It means understanding that your emotions are yours to control, not for someone else to manage or manipulate. When you don't hand over the blueprint to your emotional buttons, you retain your power. You stay in charge of how you feel. You can decide when to open up and when to protect yourself. You create a space where your emotional responses are genuine and intentional, not reactive or forced. That kind of strength builds respect in a relationship. It tells a man, I am someone who knows her worth, who guards her heart, and who expects to be treated with care. There's also something to be said about mystery when it comes to your emotions. If a man doesn't know everything that sets you off or makes you tick, he'll have to pay attention, listen, and learn. He'll have to be patient and respectful to understand you. And if he's willing to do that, he's likely a man worth your trust. But if he expects you to hand over every emotional secret immediately, he might not respect your boundaries or your feelings. Women sometimes confuse vulnerability with giving away all their emotional information. Vulnerability is about being honest and open, but still protecting your core. It's about sharing pieces of your heart on your terms. It's about trusting someone enough to reveal what's safe to share, not dumping everything because you feel pressured. Real vulnerability comes from strength, not desperation. And it's only truly safe when you control the narrative, not when someone else does. Imagine giving a man a map that shows exactly where your emotional mines are buried. If he's careful and loves you, he'll tiptoe around those mines. But if he's careless, selfish, or cruel, he might step on them just to see what happens. Why make it easy for someone to hurt you? Why give someone a guide to your pain? You deserve better than that. Keeping the blueprint to your emotional buttons private is a form of self-respect. It's saying, I am aware of my feelings and I am the keeper of my heart. It doesn't mean you're cold or distant. It means you're wise. It means you know that love is about mutual respect, patience, and care, not emotional manipulation or pressure. So remember this, your emotional world is sacred. You get to decide who holds the key and when you hand it over. Protect yourself by not giving away all your emotional triggers too soon. Keep your heart guarded while allowing love to grow in a space of respect and trust, because when you do, you create a relationship where both hearts can thrive, strong, safe, and deeply connected. Every woman has dreams. They might be big or small, clear or still forming, but they are yours. Dreams are the spark inside that keeps you moving forward, the vision of what your life could be, the passion that fuels your purpose. But here's something most women don't realize. Not everyone deserves to know your dreams right away. In fact, it's one of the most important things you need to guard fiercely until those dreams are strong enough to fly on their own. Because when you share your dreams too soon or with the wrong person, you risk losing them, getting discouraged, or having your energy drained. Dreams are fragile, especially in the early stages. When your vision is new, when it's just a seed in your heart, it needs time, space, and nurturing to grow. Sharing it too early can expose it to doubt, negativity, or even jealousy. People might not understand your dream or might not believe in it. Sometimes even those closest to you might discourage you, not because they want to hurt you, but because they're afraid or because they see things differently. If you tell a man your dream before it's solid, you might hear, that's too risky, or are you sure that's realistic? Or worse, why don't you just settle? Those words can chip away at your confidence if you're not ready for them. A dream is sacred. It's yours before it's anyone else's. It represents your deepest hopes and what you want to create in this world. When you guard your dreams, you're protecting your vision from being watered down or stolen. You're giving yourself the chance to build a foundation, to strengthen your skills, your mindset, and your plan before you bring others into it. When the time is right and your dream is strong enough, sharing it will become a celebration, not a risk. Many women make the mistake of rushing to share their dreams because they want support or validation. That's natural. We all want to be encouraged and cheered on, but you have to be careful where and with whom you seek that support. Not every man is ready or capable of being your biggest fan. Some men might feel threatened by your ambition. Some might want you to dim your light so they can shine brighter. Others might think your dream is a distraction from what matters. That's why you can't give your dreams away so easily. Your dreams deserve respect, and you deserve to be surrounded by people who believe in them just as fiercely as you do. You don't owe anyone a detailed roadmap of your ambitions, especially not early in a relationship. You don't have to explain why you want to start that business, go back to school, travel the world, or pursue a creative passion until you're ready. Your dream is not a bargaining chip or a test. It's a part of your soul. Keep it guarded so that when you finally do share it, it's a powerful statement of who you are and where. Guarding your dreams also means guarding your energy. Dreams require focus, dedication, and sometimes sacrifice. If you let too many people in on your vision too soon, you risk getting pulled in different directions. You might get advice that confuses you, criticism that discourages you, or distractions that steal your time. Your dreams need a safe space to grow. Away from noise, judgment, and pressure, protect that space fiercely. There's a difference between being secretive and being wise. You're not hiding because you don't believe in your dreams. You're holding back because you value them. You know that a dream shared too soon can be vulnerable, and you're protecting it until it's strong enough to stand on its own. When you reach that point, your dream won't need constant defending. It will speak for itself. You will have built a foundation solid enough to withstand criticism, setbacks, and doubt. And when you do finally share your dreams with the right person, a man who respects you, supports you, and walks beside you, it will be a beautiful thing. That man will not ask you to shrink your vision. He won't question your ambitions. Instead, he will celebrate every step you take and encourage you to soar higher. But until then, hold your dreams close. Let them grow in silence and strengthen in faith. Remember, many successful women didn't share their dreams with everyone. They kept their visions private while they worked in the shadows, building, learning, and growing. When their time came, their dreams were ready. They were no longer fragile ideas, but unstoppable forces that changed their lives and the lives of those around them. You can do the same. Guard your dreams because they are the blueprint of your future. Treat them with care, nurture them with patience, and protect them with determination. Because your dreams are too precious to be tossed around or underestimated. They are the wings that will one day carry you to the life you deserve. Money is one of the most sensitive and powerful parts of anyone's life, especially a woman's. Your financial details, your income, savings, debts, investments, expenses are more than just numbers on a paper or digits in an account. They are the fortress of your independence, the foundation of your freedom, and the shield that protects your dignity. And this is why you must keep your financial details locked, especially when it comes to men, until trust is truly earned. Too often, women feel pressure to reveal their entire financial picture too early in a relationship, thinking it shows transparency, trust, and partnership. But here's the truth. Financial information is deeply personal. And revealing too much too soon can leave you vulnerable in ways you might not even realize. When you share your financial details with someone who doesn't yet deserve that knowledge, you're handing them a key to your personal power, one that could be used for control, manipulation, or exploitation. Financial independence is more than just having money. It's the ability to make decisions freely, to walk away from unhealthy situations, and to build a life on your own terms. When your finances are an open book too early, you risk giving someone leverage over you. That leverage can take many forms: pressure to spend money a certain way, control over how you manage your resources, or even emotional manipulation where money becomes a weapon in arguments or disagreements. No woman should ever feel trapped because she shared too much about her financial situation too soon. It's not about keeping secrets or being dishonest. It's about protecting your foundation. Just like you wouldn't hand a stranger the keys to your home, don't hand over your financial keys without knowing the person is trustworthy. Trust isn't built overnight, especially with something as crucial as money. Financial transparency in a relationship should come naturally over time when you both have proven that you respect and support each other's independence and goals. There's also a broader cultural expectation that women should be financially open, that sharing everything is a sign of honesty and equality. While honesty is important, discernment is equally critical. You have the right to decide how much you share and when. Protecting your financial privacy is not about mistrust, it's about self-respect. It's about understanding that your finances are a part of your security and that security should never be compromised lightly. Many women make the mistake of rushing to combine finances, share passwords, or disclose every financial detail before the relationship has a strong foundation. This can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and even exploitation if the relationship sours. Protecting your financial fortress means you stay in control of your resources, your credit, and your future. It means you're less likely to be caught off guard or put in a position where you have to rely solely on someone else for support. Financial boundaries are a form of empowerment. They allow you to maintain your independence and your dignity. When a man respects your choice to keep your financial details private until trust is established, that's a sign he values you as a partner, not just someone to manage money with or rely on financially. Respect for your financial boundaries, often respect for you as a whole person. Think of your finances like a fortress: strong walls, secure gates, and careful guards. You decide who gets in and when. If someone tries to demand financial information before you're ready, that's a red flag. A man who truly cares about you and your well-being will wait until you're comfortable sharing. He won't rush you or make you feel guilty. Instead, he'll show patience and understanding, recognizing that financial security is a key part of your autonomy. Keeping your financial details locked also means protecting your credit and financial reputation. Money isn't just about what you have today, it's about your ability to build for tomorrow. Your credit history, your savings, your investments, they all play a part in your long-term freedom. When you guard your financial information carefully, you reduce the risk of financial abuse, identity theft, or manipulation. At the end of the day, your financial life belongs to you first. No one else should have access to it without your consent and trust. Guard it fiercely, keep it locked until you know someone is worthy of the privilege to see inside. Because your money isn't just currency. It's your independence, your dignity, and your future all wrapped into one. By protecting your financial fortress, you are standing strong in your power as a woman who values herself and her future. You're setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. And you're creating a relationship environment where respect and trust are the foundation, not pressure or control. This is how you keep your power, your peace, and your independence intact, no matter what comes your way.